Hey, we are back, and today we're going to take our stats that we selected, our bonuses, and apply them to the player when the game loads. But before we do that, I want to take a look at this one issue here with the buttons here. They're not highlighting, they're not doing anything when I click them, when I hover over them, and even if I had a highlighted color of gray on this on the new game, or say even red on this continue button, if I were to hover over them, nothing happens. So we need to fix that first. So the problem is it's this normal color and this image color. It's just as simple as changing this to white and this to black. So if I want my regular color, and then this being black is the problem. Yep, that fixes it. So now it's normal. So let me just do. So we'll just fix these, and all we have to do is change this to white, the image color, and the normal color to black, and then this will be finished. I'm going to change this to like a gray, and the settings, set that to the middle, gray, put that to black, put that to white, and the same for the button quit. And this, so that should fix the issue. So if we go like that, so now the buttons are working properly. So okay, so you might ask, why was that a problem? Why does it operate that way? Well, I looked it up. I actually had to ask ChatGPT this because it's hard to find this information in the manual for Unity, but this color here is the color it's applying to this source image, and the color tint down here is an adjustment to this color. So it multiplies whatever this color is by the highlighted color, for instance, to get the highlighted color that it's going to highlight the button with. The problem is, if you have it set to black, the color is all zero. So what it's doing is multiplying 0 by a non-zero, whatever that color is, and it will come out with 0. So it won't change the button at all. So the solution is to make sure that's white and use normal color to get the actual color that you want your button to be. So that was the mistake I made when I initially set up these buttons. This color we should always leave to white if we want these colors down here to be as they appear. Otherwise, if this color is not white, these won't appear correctly. So that's the solution anyway. So next, now we need to get our stat bonuses into the game. So let's take a look at that. I'll look at the, make sure I save that and look at the main scene that I have here. So if we look at the player, we have the traits assigned here, and we have our stats, strength, and dexterity. We want to look at the class though. So in this custom class, we have you tell it what stats you have. What we want to do is change the formula that it's using. So we're using this strength stat, for instance. This was part of the examples. It has this strength formula, but we don't want to, use this formula. So this formula is saying take the base strength amount, which is 5, and multiply it by the level. So like on level 1, you'll get 5 strength. Level 2, you get 10 strength, etc. this is how these are working. Dexterity does the same thing. We don't necessarily want to do it that way. A lot of games don't do it that way. But what we want to do is change that formula. So we're going to click change formula. But first of all, let's create new formulas. So game creator stats formula. We're going to create a strength. A strength. I'm going to call it strength bonus. And we're going so we don't get it confused with the other ones. And then we'll do a dexterity bonus. So what we want to do is, so what I want to do is, so if we look at the help text here, it tells you what all the things you can put in the formulas are. So if we want a variable, we can do source.var name. It's a local name variable attached to the source game object. The source game object in this case would be the player. So we'd have to put a local name variable right here under the stats here for that to be picked up. So that's one thing we need to do. So what I want it to do is the formula should be the and we have the variables here, the base stats. So for strength, it would be strength base plus the bonus allocation for strength, whatever they selected, plus the level. So for instance, you'll get like a bonus point to strength or dexterity every time you go up a level. Various RPGs might do these things differently, but just for now, I'm going to keep it simple and do that. So now that I created those two bonus ones, we're going to assign that, and we don't assign it here. We have to go to the class and assign it here where it says change formula. So we'll click change formula, and then for strength we want to use this one. And for dexterity, we want to use this one. So now, there's no formula in there now, but we need to do a formula. So we want the source variable name plus another variable. We want two variables to be added together plus the level. And then, so the level... So let's look at the strength formula. So the original formula, if you want the level, you could use source.stat_level. So let me just copy that first. And then in the strength bonus, we want the level for one to start with. And in the dexterity bonus, the level. And then, see, now the problem is our variables that we're saving from the menu are global variables. So what we need to do is to create a local name variable right here that has those base and bonus variables in it. So let's create a local name variable here. And then we're going to have strength base. And that's a number. And then we'll just clone this 3 more times. So we want dex base. And we want strength bonus. And dex bonus. So those are the 4. And then we can go to our formula here and use those. So strength base plus strength bonus. So that's what we want. So we're going to do what the help text says here, and we can collapse that out and use source.var, and then it's called strength base plus source.var strength bonus plus the level. So this is, I'll just copy this. So that's for strength bonus. You might ask what this target variable is. It returns the value of a local name variable attached to the targeted game object. So let's say you're targeting an enemy, you're attacking an enemy, it would be the variable of attached to that enemy. So let's say your formula depends to calculate damage, right? So if you're calculating damage based on, you could look at your the enemy strength or the enemy stats in order to determine how much damage the enemy will do to you or how much damage you will do to the enemy. So that's, I think, what target does. Source is looking at the player, so we want that. And then for dexterity, we'll just change this to dex base plus dex bonus plus the level. So that should be that. And we've already set that to be overridden in here. So let's see. The next thing we need to do is actually populate this when the game is loaded, when the game starts. So what we can do here is have a trigger. I'm just going to put it as a separate object. So let's see, create empty. And we'll call it stat bonuses. Stat bonuses. And we're going to do a trigger on start. And when we start the game, we want to copy basically all we need to do is copy the variables. But we have 3 different classes here, so we'll do the easy ones first because the bonus allocation is the same no matter what class you have. So what we'll do is set those first. So let's do that. So we'll set a number, and it's going to be the local name variable. So we're going to do the player, and that would be strength bonus. And we're going to look at the global name variable, bonus allocation, strength. So we're going to set that there. And then we're going to set the dex bonus in the player variable here. Dex bonus to dexterity from the global variable. And then the other ones, we need the base stats. So we want to set them based on what class was selected. So the class name selected will be available there. So we'll just do a conditions. So we'll do a conditions, and then, but we want to just make sure we run that. So we'll run this conditions. And in the conditions, we're going to do a compare text. I think it's text equals, really. I don't know why it's called text equals or instead of compare text, but like everything else, but the text equals. So we want the variable to look at the global name variable class selected. The class name selected equals, I'm just going to hard code them in. So if it's a soldier, then we're going to set number, local name variable, the player object, and the strength base this time. That's what we want. And we're going to get it from the global name variable, soldier base stats, and the strength base. So we're bringing that in. And we want the dex base from the same soldier base stats and the dex base. So we're going to set those. And now we can do another branch for the tank. So now we're looking for tanks. And then we can copy these and change them accordingly. So instead of soldier base, it'll be tank base stats. And this one can copy. And we just have to replace that. And tank base stats. So we have that, and then the engineer. Make sure we spell this correctly. And then we'll copy these. And we're going to use the engineer base stats. And paste that. Engineer base stats. So we have all three branches depending on what class was selected. Okay, so there we have our trigger. And then, okay, so these base stats, we aren't saving them, but I mean, this is basically static. It's never going to change. Like, it's not being saved in the save game. It's being saved in the game data, I guess, like the being saved at design time, I guess you call it. Whereas bonus allocation is being saved at runtime, and it shows 0 at design time because it was selected during runtime. So we have to keep this. This has to be turned on, the saving, so it can pick up what was saved. But so the next time you load the game, if there's already a save game, you're going to have a continue button that loads the main scene, and it does not, it won't work properly. It won't work properly. These will be 0 when on start happens. The bonus allocation variables won't have been loaded from the save game yet. So we need to have another event to handle that, because this will only work the first time you start a new game, because these will be populated because they got populated in the main menu. But when you're loading a game after you've quit and reloaded, and you're reloading a save game, then these two bonus allocations need to come from the onload method. So what we need to do is add a trigger here. And instead of on start, we have a storage method or category, and we use on load. So after loading, we want it to be run after the game's loaded. So what we're going to do after loading is we're going to set these again. We're going to set this. We're going to do this again. Okay. So we have the strength one, and we have the dex. So we're setting those two. Otherwise, those will, if you load your game, this will be set to 0 up here, these will be set to 0, and then your formula, then the formula that we set up won't work properly. It'll be the base amount plus 0 plus the level, and then it'll be broken. It won't have the right number. So, and you'll wonder what's going on, because that's what's going on, because on start runs before on load. So if the game isn't fully loaded, this will be 0. And then after loading, it won't be 0. So this is what we'll need to run if there's a save game. If there's no save game, this on load never runs. So so just having this is all we need. So I guess we can, so that's all we need to do to assign these to the player. So what we can do is, let me save this, and we can go back to the character selection, and we've already got a saved game. So I'm just gonna reload it, and then we'll look at the variables after it's loaded. So we have, let me look at the player during runtime. This blue stuff is just because my shaders were compiling. I'm not sure if that happens in a build, but that could be the reason why you would need a loading screen for a while until it's fully loaded, because you don't want the players to see your shaders being compiled. So here we have, okay, so strength base and dex base are 0. The bonuses are there. So the bonus +1, dexterity +1, that's fine. But those are 0. Why are those 0? Let's take a look. So that's the reason. This is being saved. So our logic here to run the stat bonuses and wait, it's running only on start. We also need to run that on load. So what we need to do is just copy this, and both of them could actually run the same conditions, and I just paste it in. And we'll just, where's that? Move this conditions. So that will run the same conditions to look at if there's a save game, then it'll get those base values after loading the game. So that's the issue. And you see that caused that problem. So now if we go into our player, we will see that the strength is 9 and dexterity is 8. So we got strength 5, bonus 3, so 8 plus 1 is 9, and dexterity 8. 5 plus 2 is 7, equal plus 1 is 8. So these formulas are working. And if we want to test the other two, so if we want to delete our save game so that we can test the other classes, we're going to need a delete button somewhere in the main menu. Maybe would be a good place. So we're going to put a delete button in here. So let's do that. Okay. Button settings. We'll just put a delete. Button delete. Delete save, I'll just call it. And this one, when we click it, it will we'll look at the save storage, delete game from slot 1, because we're saving to slot 1, and then we'll reload the scene. I think that's the best thing to do. Or load scene. download scene, and that would be this character selection scene. And that should get us back our new game button. So let's test that. Let's do this. So now we have a delete save. Click it. Okay. New game. So now we get our new game. So now let's select a tank. And continue. The highlighting is not working, but we know what the fix is there. We just need to go and do the fix. So we have strength of 7. We'll give 2 and then 3 to dexterity. So we should get 9 plus 1 is 10. 7 for dexterity, 10 for strength. Continue. And then look at our player object in here. So then we have strength 10, dexterity 7, as expected. We've got all our variables populating correctly. So that fixes that. And let's run one more. Engineer. So 7 and 9 we should see. And we see 7 and 9. So that's working. Yeah. So let's see. Oh yeah, and this, well yeah, well maybe it wasn't saving the game, I don't know, let's see. And then we will see. Yeah, so we have our continue. So it is saving the game. I just think that because I had it set up only in here to save the game after we get into the settings menu, then that's why we saw when we deleted the save, and then we go new game, continue, and we have our correct stats. If we quit right away and then go back in, you're still going to see new game because it didn't save the game. It doesn't actually save the game until we get in to the actual menu. The settings menu has a save in it. So now when we quit, it should give you continue button and correct. So that's working correctly now. So that we know how to fix let's fix that. Let me just go in and fix that too. The class select. These buttons are not highlighting correctly. So let's say button continue. Now this one is already white. It's just because I don't have a highlighted color selected. So I can just set, we can just set one and it should work. Okay. And then the soldier also doesn't have a highlighted color. So we'll just set one. And engineer. In a real game, you're not going to use these type of buttons anyway. You're going to use actual like UI, proper UI images for these, but just for now, I'm just going to see if that fixes it. So we're going to delete the save, new game, and then yes, now the highlighting is working. And this, we don't have a selected color either, so let's take a look at that. The cyclic code. Oh yeah, this problem is being caused by, I think this panel is not sized correctly. Possibly that's the problem. Let's see if that fixed it. New game. Yep. So there we go. That's working again. Previous. Quit. This panel being like this and not covering all the buttons. It's the horizontal layout group is covering, was causing the highlighting not to work as well. So, or the selected color was not working. So that's the fix to that. So now once we have gotten our stats in there, well, what do those stats actually do? Well, you could use them when you're calculating damage and stuff like that for your weapons, etc. But we don't have any weapons yet. But coming soon, I guess we will take a look at some how to set up weapons and pick them up and perhaps put them in inventory, etc. That's it for this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you would like to support the channel, I do have a Patreon link down below. Many thanks to all of my patrons. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.